Welcome back to Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal 0, West Ham 2, and the problem is right there. The problem is scoring goals. Mikel Arteta and his team are looking for a defender in January, yet our big problem actually is scoring goals. Arsenal have conceded the second least number of goals in the Premier League, 18. Only Liverpool have conceded less, 16. But however, among the top 5, we are scoring the least number of goals. We have scored 36. All the other teams have scored 39 and above. Tottenham 39, Liverpool 39, Aston Villa 40, and Manchester City 43. So the big question is, are we really trying to win the league, or are we really trying to kind of improve our squad, look good, just give the fans whatever they want? And yeah, that's it. We will go again next year. Because when I looked at that West Ham game, everyone talks about it. Everyone says that Arsenal had 30 shots on goal and all that. But it doesn't really matter. We had 30 shots on goal and we didn't score a single goal. West Ham, on the other side, by the way, had a very, very good game in my opinion. They had 6 shots on goal and they scored 2 of them. And that has been the problem with Arsenal right from the beginning of the campaign. Against Brighton, we saw one of the best performances from this team. We attacked, we pressed high, we created a lot of chances, but how many did we bury? Only 2. And we said, listen, it was a good game. You cannot pick on the negatives at the moment. Against Aston Villa, Martin Odegaard, the likes of Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, each and everyone had a chance to score 2 goals in that game. We scored none. We absolutely scored none. And we said, well, it was a good performance. We lost against the Aston Villa. They were a good side. We have seen Manchester United overturn a result against Aston Villa from 2-0 down to 3-2. The difference between Man United and Arsenal is we both went a goal down. And actually, Man United went 2 goals down against Villa, but they created chances and they took them because they had 2 goals disallowed for offside, right, in that game. And for me, that is the problem with Arsenal, and that is the reason why Liverpool, they are not favourites. I still think Manchester City are favourites, but Liverpool will win the title if Man City don't win it. And it's going to be from the fact that we just don't score goals. Like, how easy is that? How easy or difficult is that for Mikel Arteta and his team to say that we are not scoring goals and therefore we need a striker or we need a way to score goals? It's as simple as that, right? It's as simple as that. We are not scoring enough goals, and that was very evident in that, West Ham game. So we're going to talk about what I thought about the game because I thought we were wasting time, right? Everyone says Arsenal had 30 shots. Mikel said Arsenal had 30 shots. But how many of them were actually quality? How many shots did I look at and I'm like, that should go in? There was a Martin Odegaard power shot in the second half, a Gabriel Jesus header, which was open goal, and then you had the Bukayo Saka and the Gabriel Martinelli chance in the first half. Those were 4 of the shots that I thought they should actually go in, right? Maybe we're asking too much of our wingers. Maybe we're asking too much of Odegaard. Maybe we're asking too much of these players to actually try and fill the void, the deficit that is being left by our strikers. Like, I do not think the return that Salah and Jota are giving to Liverpool and Haaland is giving to Manchester City, I don't think you're really going to find that in Edin Ketia and Gabriel Jesus. I don't think that's the way to go. I just don't think we are on the right track. I really don't think. And yesterday, I was not actually very pissed. I was not surprised. I looked at that result. I'm like, yeah, it was coming. And we had already seen them. No goals against Newcastle, no goals against West Ham, no goals against Aston Villa. Actually, Arsenal have not scored a single goal in a game where we've lost in local football. So in the Premier League, the 3 games that we've lost, we've not scored a single goal. And you look at the margins, right? This could have been 3-0. So it was a dreadful performance. You could see, Declan Rice struggled a little bit. I thought Zinchenko, the likes of, Saliba, they all struggled. But when it comes to the final third, we had the ball. When it comes to the final third, we had the chance to score 4. We had the chance to score 5. And again, we walk away with a defeat with no goals, right? So every time we lose a game, we actually do not score. And the teams that we have actually lost games against are not teams that are defending very, very well. I'll give you an example to put that into perspective, right? Manchester City, not Manchester City, but West Ham went to the Craven Cottage against Fulham, and they conceded 5. After that, they went to the Anfield against Liverpool in the EFL Cup and conceded 5. So we were playing a team that had gone away to 2 stadiums in the Premier League and had conceded a total of 10 goals. Arsenal did not score against that team. That is how bad we are. That is how dreadful we are in front of goal, right? Aston Villa conceded 3 against one of the worst Manchester United sides ever in history, right? And we said, all we had to say is, listen, Aston Villa are a good side, but they lost to Liverpool. And that's the difference, and that is where this title is going to go. That is going to decide where this title goes, because Liverpool are conceding less goals than Arsenal. Liverpool are scoring more goals than Arsenal. Logically, they are better than us. Logically, they've got to win the title, right? Unless we address our problems in January and we stop this bullshit of Mikel Arteta going, or probably when we have a problem, we will fix it. We have a problem. And the problem is scoring goals. Every January transfer window, we go in with a different problem, we solve another problem, and we stay where we are. Last January, we looked at it, we wanted a midfielder, we brought in Jakub Kiwior in defense, we brought in Leandro Trossard in attack, and the midfield stayed the way it was, and that was a guarantee. You're not winning the title without the midfield, and we did not. This time around, it's the attack, it's the midfield. I looked at Kai Havertz's absence, and I'm like, we abuse him, we give him a lot of trolling and shade on online. I don't think we actually have a player who is as good as Kai Havertz on the left hand side, because Alexander Zinchenko was awful yesterday. Gabriel Martinelli has been awful whole season. I don't know why he's become so bad. And then you have this Leandro Trossard man that literally provided nothing yesterday. Absolutely nothing, right? So you've got to deal with that midfield. And I was talking about Ryan Cherki yesterday on the Cossy Arsenal channel. You've got to go and check out that video. I talked about Ryan Cherki. I've talked about Gilles Brandt. Those are the players we need at the moment, right? Because Gilles Brandt comes in for Leandro Trossard, or he comes on for Kai Havertz, and that's a different game. You need to be cooking in your midfield. The creativity is dying out, right? This team's creativity is dying out, and Mikel Arteta is looking at it, and it's not working. It's not coming around, right? Those goals don't win you the league, right? Unless you're going to concede, 15 goals whole season, which Arsenal can't do. We need to score more goals. For me, it's as simple as that. So, shout out to West Ham, because I thought they played a very, very good game. They had a very good game plan. And David Moyes, again, beating Manchester United, beating Arsenal, beating Brighton. They've got a couple of games without losing. They're 33 points already in the league. That means they can't go down at the moment. Listen, they're above Manchester United. They're above Chelsea. They're decent. They're a decent side. But they're a decent side that Arsenal have always beaten at the Emirates Stadium. They're a decent side that we should have beaten at the Emirates Stadium. And again, when one of our problems manifests, I think we are in trouble, because we have to go now away at West Ham. I don't think Arsenal win that game currently. We have to go to the Etihad. Liverpool have to come here at the Emirates Stadium, and you look at all those games, you look at all those performances. We have to go to Newcastle St. James. You look at all those performances, and you ask yourself one question: are we really going to go and beat Liverpool at the Emirates after failing to beat Newcastle and West Ham from here? I just don't think so. I think if we don't improve in January, if we don't find a way of scoring goals, then we might as well focus on the Champions League, because with the Champions League you can score one goal and try and defend. The Premier League is a marathon. It is not about running away with it. It's about being good, able, and competent. It's what Liverpool actually showing us right now, that they will draw against Man United, they will draw against Arsenal, and then They will come and beat Burnley. They'll beat West Ham. They'll beat Aston Villa. Right? So they've started now opening up that point gap on top of the table. It's not big, but it is going to be really, really, really frightening. It's going to be really frightening. Because right now, Liverpool are around, I think, 5 points, around 5 points, or even more than that, above Manchester City. And they know that is their real title contender. It's not Arsenal. It's Man City. If they can run away against Manchester City and go into a 10-point difference, then the title is done. They've lost one game this campaign, and I don't see them losing as many as like 5 games. So Arsenal this season, we've lost 3, and I think we're still losing more. I think we will lose against Man City. We will lose against this Liverpool side. I think they'll be much better in the second leg. And I think when you go to Brighton away and the likes of Bournemouth that are actually coming around, you might lose 2 or 3 more games. And when you do that, that's going to create the advantage for Liverpool. So for me, we should have dealt with it in the summer. We could have dealt with it 2 windows ago. We looked at Dusan Vlahovic. We looked at Darwin Núñez. We didn't. We brought in a striker that is so good at facilitation and very bad at scoring goals. And that's going to be the difference. That is actually going to be the difference. I don't think Liverpool get any worse than they are. I don't think they're a good side, by the way. That's why I really, really commend them. A 23-goal difference at the moment. Manchester City 22, Arsenal 18. I don't think our goal scoring form is going to improve. I do not think Manchester City's form is going to get worse than they are, because they're really they're already bad, like really, really bad at the moment. So all they've got to do is welcome back Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. They will be massively better than us. I think Liverpool are already worse, but better than us. And that, for me, is a reality check, right? If we can fix it in January, we kind of stand a chance to be top 2. I don't think we will drop from the top 3. I think we'll be either second or third. But until we get that goal-scoring machine, I think we better focus on the Champions League. That is where we need to be. I want to do some player ratings as well for that game. David Raya, I'll give him a 6 in this game. I thought David Raya, he just gives me vibes of a good goalkeeper. He really, really does. Like that penalty save, right? He just gives me vibes of a good goalkeeper. But when I look at the goal that we considered at first, the defense and the communication between the goalkeeper and them, it's just dreadful. So I'll give him a 6. Ben White, I'll give him a 5. Again, for me, Takara Tomiyasu has always been much better than him. Alexander Zinchenko, a 5 for him yesterday. Bad performance, wasn't it? It was just a bad performance. And I actually don't think Kudus was running at him. And I don't think Jared Bowen as well, was trying to run past him. It was just a bad performance for him. Saliba and Gabriel, I'll give Saliba a 5 and I'll give Gabriel a 6. I thought Gabriel, this season actually, has been the more active defender, but Saliba is always calm and cool, and he's so concentrated. And again, yesterday I was looking at him and I was like, yeah, he's a good centre back. But I'll give it to Gabriel yesterday. I thought he was involved and engaged more in the game than Saliba. Declan Rice, yeah, that was the worst performance, a 4 out of 10. That's a bad performance. That's a really, really bad performance. I think it's one for him to forget. He's struggled against West Ham the whole of the campaign. They have beaten us on 3 occasions, and we scored 1. It was Odegaard coming from the bench, but they knocked us out of the FA Cup embarrassingly. And I think our next game after Fulham is going to be Liverpool in the FA Cup. That's another guaranteed L. Yeah, because with Liverpool, you're either scoring against them or they're scoring against you. So I don't think Arsenal will stand a chance against Liverpool. So Declan Rice, I think he's got to get his shit together against West Ham. I think the environment is getting to him, and it's not a bad player. It's nowhere near a bad player. He's the best signing in the Premier League so far. Leandro Trossard, a 3. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I thought he should have come off early. Him, Martinelli, Saka, they should have come off early. and he stayed on and he did nothing. Odegaard, surprisingly, I'll give him an 8 out of 10 because with Martin Odegaard, again, another good performance from him where we don't win. He had a good performance against Aston Villa. He doesn't score goals, and we don't win. He had another very good performance against West Ham yesterday, and we don't win. Martinelli 3. Martinelli's it's better not to start him in games now. Yeah, it's better not to start him in games now because he's gone a whole season now just useless. As simple as that. Saka is useful. Yeah, Saka is useful. I'll give him a 3 in this game. He is useful this season. I think he's doing well. But I just don't see it. I just don't see the Saka that we know. Yeah. Gabriel Jesus, a 4. Jesus has a problem. And that problem is going to be when Mikel brings in a new striker, what happens with him? He can't score decisive goals. I was looking at one of the huge misses that he actually missed in that game. I think this is it. And I'm like, how have you missed that? At 65 minutes, you have an empty goal, and somehow you can't put that into the back of the net. And you are the reliable, goal source. You are the guy that is leading this team to score goals. I don't think that's good enough. I really don't think that's good enough. And so Mikel has got to make a choice. Does he go against his original plan and now find a goal scorer? Because he likes goals to be sprinkled everywhere. There's something good about that. When you have players that are clinical or across the pitch, that is okay. You can score a couple of goals. But when your players are not clinical, I don't think Odegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Kai Havertz, Partey, and Declan Rice, I don't think that midfield will give you more than 15 goals. I don't think the attack of Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus this season will give you 40 goals or 35 goals. So that means that it's either you're hoping that your defense does very well, which it has actually done very well so far, or you're just waiting, delaying tactics for the fans until the summer, and then you can actually sort it out, right? But for me, if we can't score goals, we better not dream. It's as simple as that. If we can't score goals, if we can't create quality chances, we better not dream about the title. I just think we better not dream. Liverpool will drop points, but they will collect those points back because they're scoring goals. They have the ability to score goals, right? Yeah, they have that ability, and that's what Arsenal do not have. That is what Manchester City have. That is what Arsenal don't have, and it's a reality, in that. Again, I thought West Ham were much better defensively than they were last season, and I don't think we put that into account. When we played them last season, we were playing a one-man West Ham. It was about Declan Rice. You beat Declan Rice, you've beaten West Ham. This time around, they had done Edson Alvarez and the James Ward-Prowse that I thought were quite, they were better than our midfield, actually. They were better than our midfield in terms of neutralizing all the threat that was coming through. I think their defense is much better, even without Naif Agard, who's actually very injury prone. I think their defense is a much better solid, unit now. So it's one to forget, and we can forget it early because we are playing Fulham. But it's one that is going to come back to haunt us because when Man City play that game in hand, they will be on the same number of points as Arsenal, and therefore they will be second, and we will be third. And for me, from the moment we go to third, it's going to be about keeping third and not dropping out of the top 4. I don't think we will drop out of the top 4 because I'm looking at all these other sides that are chasing top 4. It looks like we have nailed it, right? I think Villa will have a massive drop off. I'm not worried about them. I think Tottenham, they're already dropping off. They were absolutely, almost killed yesterday. And then West Ham, they're not. I'm not really convinced about them. Man United, not convinced about them. Newcastle this season, unless they can go on a run. The same thing with Chelsea. I'm not really worried, about them. So I'm worried about one team, and that is Aston Villa. If we can be the better of Aston Villa, go into third, and just keep around there. If we get the chance to run past Man City and Liverpool, that would be nice. But if we don't, we need to make sure that we are in top three. No, that is guaranteed Champions football. That is also guaranteed. That is guaranteed money. I mean, top three, and no one actually will blame us for finishing third to Liverpool and Man City. Like, I don't think we are. I don't think we are there. Liverpool were bad last season, but I don't think we are already there at that level where they were. I think they've just become good again. They've just become so much better again, without even a number 6, by the way. They've just got better, and that might actually lose them the title. That might be the difference between Liverpool and City, because you look at the two sides, very good attacks, apart from Arsenal. So that's the difference between the three of us. So we fall behind them. But when it comes to that midfield and the ability to control games, I think that is where Man City might run away with it. They might just run away with it. So if they get better and Liverpool get better, I don't know if we will get better. They're not. I don't see the signs of us getting better, right? I don't see the signs unless it's a January mukbang. And I don't expect a January mukbang. So those are my thoughts on that game. I will be doing a couple of transfer videos. I think we really need a striker. And I think my transfer video will be about the strikers Arsenal should be focusing on. And why I just don't think the defense is the problem. I don't know why. Okay, I kind of understand that Tomias is injury prone and maybe Timber is coming back later. But with Jakub Kiwior not even playing in games like this where Alexander Zinchenko is suspect to, being torn apart, I think still the attack is our problem. I think that is where we need to focus. I think that's where we need to put our money, on the attack, not on the defensive. It can be improved, but we're going to reach a time where every club is, closing down. They're not wanting to concede goals. A 0-0 means a lot to them. A 1-0 means a lot to them. And that's the time where you need to increase your ability to score goals. It affected us last campaign. The likes of, Martinelli, Saka, like they dried down towards the end of the campaign. And they dried down because teams were more defensive. They dried down because teams were more compact. They wanted to get those final points of the campaign. Okay, so yeah, you can talk to me in the comment box below what you think about that game, what the problem is, and whether it's just a bad night as well. I mean, it could be just a bad night. They happen, they really, really do, but I don't think it was a bad night. It sounds very, very, very familiar. It looks very familiar to be just another bad night.